If you want to think about your pension fund at different stages of your life, let's go through those stages. 0 to 18, don't worry about it too much. I mean, if your parents want to worry about it, great. They can get you a junior SIP, get you started. If you're listening to this and you're by some miracle like 15, go say to your parents, can you set me up a junior SIP? That'd be a great thing. 18 plus, certainly auto-enrolment. Let's talk about when auto-enrolment kicks in. Be part of the scheme. Get your first job. Get into the auto-enrolment scheme. Go and speak to your employer and say, what is the scheme? Who's it with? What's the matched contribution? As in, how much do I need to put in to get the most out of you? Is it salary sacrifice? These kind of things. Understand the scheme you're in and what that looks like. And then also try and get an understanding of the fund that you're in, and is there a better fund than the default fund for you? Because that can have a massive impact. But in that early stage, that 18 plus, it's just a case of be in the scheme, maximize its potential. As you go through life, what I'm going to assume is you earn more money. So let's say we go to 30s now and you've been with that employer and potentially a few other employers. Maybe you want to consider consolidating pensions into one so you've got more control. And maybe you want to start looking at, should I be paying more into my work-based scheme or my own scheme, a SIP, to really, get more money into pensions because it's so tax efficient. Let's assume that between 30 and 40, you cross into a higher rate tax position. So you're now taxed at 40%. It can make sense for you to put extra money into your pension because you can bring the tax threshold down. If you're just above the tax threshold, why not bang that extra in so that bit that's being taxed at 40%? Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
At 50, the runway's not in sight, but you're coming out of the woods in terms of you're on the back end of the journey. So I would really get a good understanding there of kind of how much I've got. Is it going to be enough? Am I on target to hit my goal? I would also be asking myself these questions in my 40s, right? And at 50, what I think is this is a great time for pension contributions because actually they're the age group that they can access it quite soon at the minute, So any money they're firing into their pension, they can get their hands on it relatively soon. So it becomes super efficient and attractive to fire as much in as you can. As you approach the end of your 50s or maybe within your 50s, depending on when you want to retire. If you're planning to retire at 55, obviously you need to look at this earlier. But let's say now that you might have the conversation around de-risking. Do you know what de-risking means?
When you turn, you go more equities and less bonds and things in your portfolio. Oh no, you're right. That's more bonds, less equities. There you go. Yeah, you're right. More bonds, less equity.
Yeah, so de-risking is this idea that you might want to protect your portfolio from a dip in the stock market just before you retire. Because if you're saying I want to retire at 60 and you've got this pot of cash and then it drops by 20, 30%, that might stop you from doing that, right? There's lots of ways to de-risk. Bonds are the traditional way. And someone like Andrew Craig would say 100 minus your age is your equity to bond mix. So if
you're like 30, it should be 70/30 in equities and 30% in bonds.
But this is about understanding your own risk tolerance. For me, that's too cautious. I'm 100% equities till the death.
David doesn't know about de-risking.
Well, no, I de-risk through having a large amount of cash, so 2 to 3 years worth of cash. So this is de-risking. So if you say bonds are like a cash kind of vehicle or they're a product that's similar to cash in terms of a predictable return, by having 3 years worth of cash on hand, I have de-risked my portfolio. Because if that 3 years worth of cash is say 100 grand, in cash, and my portfolio is £1 million, 10% of is in cash or whatever. So you're having this conversation of, I'm approaching retirement. Do I have enough money? If I have enough money, am I starting to de-risk my portfolio? Because it's not about growing it anymore. It's about protecting the value. And then throughout retirement, it's a conversation of, for me anyway, every year, how have the markets done in the past 12 months to 24 months? How much can I now take out of my portfolio? For me, that conversation will happen every year. I'll sit down and go, okay, in the last 12 months, I did this. So I'm going to take out this. And I think at that stage, personally, 55 plus is the bit where I'm probably going to sit down with a financial advisor and I'm probably going to say, what are the most tax efficient ways to structure my income? can I do like a cash flow model, and have I got enough? These kind of things.
And we're all living longer, so you've got to make sure you don't think your retirement is going to be like 10, 20 years. It could be 30.
Yeah, there's an ONS calculator that allows you to see what your life expectancy is. Mine was 86 with a 1 in 10 chance of living to 102.
Do you put in like all your lifestyle and everything?
No, just
based they don't know anything then, do they?
Yeah. I'm cooked.
17 beers a
9 out of 10, mate. No, like, I'm in but like basically we've got to assume that we're going to live to 100. So you are right.
Yeah.
But I think as long as if you're hitting 20 and you're asking these questions and you're 30 and all of that, then that's the way I would look at it. But it's the same throughout. Make sure you're maximizing the contributions to the best of your ability, and ask yourself constantly, how much do I need? Am I on track to hit that goal? And enjoy the ride. Don't beat yourself up too much.
Take a page out of my book. Enjoy every day. Mm-hmm. Enjoy the whole roller coaster.
You've only got about 10 of them left. You put yours into the ONS calculator, it's going to be like, you dead already.
How are you typing this?
Yeah. I got a big personal finance question for you. Perhaps the biggest one. When can you retire? Really, this question is impossible to answer without doing a bit of digging into the specifics. And it's not something that I can answer for you because, unfortunately, I'm not your qualified financial advisor. So what we've started doing is working with financial advisors that we like, who can help people who want an answer to that question. You'll recognise some of them from being on the podcast. You can book a call with them. They'll take your information, and using software and their expertise, they'll help forecast your financial future. If you're interested, there's more information on that service in the description for you.